Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Vinod from GrowWealth. I hope you're all well. Today is the Sunday, 12th June 2022. Let's have a look at the stock market and the watch list review. Hope you can see my screen. So we'll start with the indices. So this is the NASDAQ 100 weekly chart, and it finished, let me go to the daily, it finished quite bearish. So Thursday and Friday, increasing selling coming up with high volume and gap down on Friday. And this has totally broken below the follow-through day right there. So more downside is likely, is how the stock, the chart is indicating. So it had a nice bounce for a couple of weeks, and then it now broken down below that, and it seems to be resuming its further down move. And this dotted line here is the 200-week moving average. And all the indications and the momentum, the negative momentum, if it were to continue, I expect that this might come and reach the pre-coronavirus top here from 2020 high around 9,070 or 9,740 level. And that's about 15 to 17, 18% drop further. So brace yourself is the message that I want to share with our viewers. S&P 500, it's not looking any better either. It's still bearish. Use the T line, which is the 8-week moving average, as resistance and resuming its downward move, similar to NASDAQ. On the daily, as you can see, similar action to NASDAQ, gap down on higher volume, big distribution day on both the indices. NYSE composite index, similar stuff. All the major indices are on the stage 4 downtrend, and the selling is intensifying as of last Friday. And it seems that it's likely to continue downwards further. IWM is one of the weakest of all the indices that I've just covered, and it has already reached the pre-coronavirus top, and it's trying to find its support around 200-week moving average. Let's see what it can do, whether it can hold that level or further downside is likely. But as it stands now, the huge distribution week on gap down, sometime when there is gap down selling happens, that could be a sign of exhaustion and interim bottom. And the bounce can happen, but as it stands now, it is really weak, and Monday could see further downside as well. Having said that, the CPC index, the put call ratio is at 1.19, and I consider anything above 1.1 is very bearish sentiment among the investors and traders. And this is used as a contrarian indicator. So if the CPC is above 1.1, a lot of people are leaning bearish, and that means interim low is likely or a bounce is likely. That is to be seen. It's not a foolproof method. It can get more bearish as well. At the peaks of coronavirus crash or great financial crisis, it has the VIX and the CPC index, the bearish sentiment has worsened even further. So it doesn't necessarily mean because it's 1.119, it's going to bounce again. But that is one factor to consider, because everyone is leaning bearish, and that's usually when the market bottoms or reverses. But of course, you have to make your decision taking all of this into account in the indices and also the individual stocks. So let's now move on to the stocks. I have 25 stocks in the watch list for today. And as you know, in the recent weeks and months, majority of the stocks that is in uptrend or all-time highs or in the oil and gas and energy sector. But with the recent weakness in the market, the gold sector is starting to, the gold and silver commodity sector is starting to show some strength. And the watch list today has some of them included. And also some biotech and the medical side of things, pharmaceutical side of things is also showing some strength as well. So without further ado, let's move on quickly to our watch list stocks. So OHI, that's Omega Healthcare, has just broken out of the 200-day moving average. The short-term moving average T line, about 21 and about 50 are all aligned in the right direction. The price has broken out of the 200 here, first time, and that led to further sell-off and a new low. But then it tried to reclaim the 200, pushed down again with 50 as support, tried again for the third time, couldn't break out. And for the fourth time, it did break out here on the 7th of June. And then it consolidated nicely above the 200-day moving average. So the high volume coming up, the price is above the key moving average, including the 200, which acted as a resistance, now acts as support, and the MACD is positive. So this is quite a bullish looking setup for a trade. However, if you look at the weekly, it's still below the 50-week moving average, which may act as a resistance. So it's something to watch there. Ollie's bargain outlet holdings. So this has tried to break out of the cycle and then finding some resistance there. Gentle pullback here to 200-day moving average. Volume is coming back, which is positive. If you go to the weekly, it had a big decline from 110 level to around 38 mark. And then it's trying to find some base here, maybe double bottom base, and trying to break out of this. So if it breaks out of $55 mark and holds above that, that will be a good indication for further upside to come. LVLU, fashion launch. So weekly will give you a better picture here. So this horizontal line is the IPO top. So it broke out of that base and now came back to retest it and finding some support at the T line on the weekly. The price is currently below the IPO top. So if it kind of holds the 50-day moving average as support and gives a bullish reversal and claims above this 1509 level, that will be seen as a positive indication. This is a mining stock, K92. It's a Canadian stock, KNTTO. Nice uptrend here above the 50-day moving average, pulled back to 50, found some support, and then broke below that, but found support at the 200-day moving average. A nice uptrend, reclaiming all the key moving averages. They're all aligned in the right direction. And gentle pullback to the T line and 21-day, and on high volume, it's kind of had a bullish engulfing candle, which kind of engulfs the previous week and a half's trading. So that is quite a positive action. Going on to the weekly for this one, and as you can see, it's kind of having a nice short cup formation here, and momentum building up with high volume coming up on the positive days. So that is positive looking chart. L&T hedge. This has had a huge run ever since it gapped up nearly 40% in February. It had another gap up, but pulled back to the 50-day moving average, acted as support. And then it is pulled back again and found support at the 50-day moving average. Whether the 50-day moving average holds or not is going to be quite key. This is a down day on Friday, but on higher volume. So this is a distribution day is coming in. The MACD is negative, so the momentum is kind of weakening in this stock. Nevertheless, if we go to the weekly, it is a very strong looking chart ever since it broke out. It is, one could argue that this is the first time it's kind of come to the 8-week moving average. So this could kind of consolidate, go to the sideways, or maybe use the 21-week moving average as support and reclaim, resume its uptrend. So that is to be seen. All in all, in the bigger picture, the weekly is positive. On the daily, I would like to see the price above the 50-day moving average, and this acts as a support again. Radius Global Infrastructure. It's been on the uptrend ever since it broke out of this 50-day moving average. Used the T line, consolidated gently to allow the short-term moving average to catch up, and they're all aligned in the right direction. And it had nice star stepping and then sideways action. Now it broke above that kind of mini pivot point here at 1629, and with high volume, it's kind of breaking out of that resistance. And on the daily, as you can see, nice double bottom setup and push above the 50-week moving average, and the key moving averages are aligned on the upside. On the weekly as well, with strong volume clues coming in, and is trying to kind of resume its further upside, which looks quite encouraging. YRITO, this is a gold stock. So as you can see, similarly, broke above the key moving averages, gentle consolidation, used the 50 as support, and breaking out at or above the moving average, above the average volume on Friday. So strong positive setup. NFE. So this is the all-time high, I believe. No, sorry, not the all-time high, but it was forming a cup and handle, tried to break out, but then gave a bearish engulfing candle on high volume. So that's the distribution week. If the market settles down for the energy sector and the utilities, then I would expect the 50-day moving average to hold up, act as a support, and resume its uptrend. And one could kind of see if it sets up a good entry point to trade this. SWAV, Shockwave Medical. So it gapped up here on the 6th of June, I think on the news that it's going to be added to the S&P Midcap 400. And ever since, it maintained that gap up. It hasn't undercut it yet, and the key moving averages has caught up and aligned in the right direction, 8 over 21 over 50. And the high volume is coming up as well. This company is going to be added to the S&P 400 Midcap Index, I think on the 21st of June, later this month. So more index funds and those type of funds that's following the Midcap Index has to buy this stock once it's been added. So people are kind of taking an earlier step to buy the stock to benefit from that move. I'm adding this to the watch list because it's kind of in the short term with the moving average lined up, it's showing some positive action. And the fundamentals is also strengthening. So that's quite good to notice as well. SBRA, REIT stock. This is the REIT on the healthcare facilities. A nice stair-stepping action here, bullish action with higher highs and higher lows. And now it broke above this kind of interim pivot point here. It did once here, but then it pulled back below, then used the T-line as support and reclaimed it on high volume compared to the previous attempt to break out of this level, as you can see here below. So this is quite strong, and this move is likely to continue because of the volume clue. Along with the SWAV, SHC is also another company that is being added to the S&P 400 midcap. So this follows the same thesis similar to the previous stock, although it was met with sellers, profit takers. So it finished below the 50-week moving average on the daily, below the 200 moving average and the T-line. What I would like to see is with high volume, it finds some support as long as it stays above the 50-day moving average and resumes its uptrend is what I would like to see to give me further confidence in this name. STKL on the weekly, it's trying to kind of maintain its stage 2. I think it started around here, gentle pullback, still in stage 2 on the daily, above the key moving averages except the T-line. It's trying to find some support around this kind of breakout point on the weekly, and if it holds and resumes uptrend, stage 2 is likely to continue. But the daily momentum is weakening a little bit, so it could kind of go to sideways and allow the moving averages to catch up. HUSA has been quite a volatile stock, low price stock. And as you can see, when I added to the watch list here, it had a huge move and gentle consolidation on higher volume still. So the volume is, there's accumulation happening, gentle consolidation. If the price moves above the peak top of the Friday's action, which is 759, then further upside is likely. So you would want to look out for that. WES, that's the midstream partners, Western midstream partner, oil and gas sector. Again, it broke out of this level, went to the new high, and then many of the oil stocks have seen some profit taking since Wednesday last week, and this is no exception. However, it just pulled back to the previous breakout level. So currently it is holding out above the previous breakout, as you can see on the weekly. And if that continues, if it just consolidates, maybe it puts a high handle, and if it resumes with the oil price still being high, this could be another winning stock. But don't forget, this has given us an outside week, which is a bearish engulfing candle on higher volume. So this is a distribution week. So the oil sector, which has been really hot and has been on fire, maybe taking a bit of a time to cool off a little bit. Northrop Grumman. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. There you go. So it broke out of that descending trend line here, pulled back, retested the descending trend line and the 50-day moving average, broke out again and pulled back again, but found some support at the 50-day moving average and gave a kind of a bullish reversal on Friday with high volume. So a couple of pullbacks. So far, the 50-day moving average is acting as a support. I'd want to see that continue and resume its uptrend. But if it breaks below the 50-day moving average, then this breakout will be invalid. On the daily, it's still going in the sideways, consolidation above key moving averages. So nothing wrong with the weekly charts. ON Semiconductor, I think this is going to be added to the S&P 500. So, and also the fundamentals are improving with this name. So it gapped up, pulled back towards the 21-day moving average. Moving averages are aligned in the right direction. So that is positive. Weekly gives you a better picture. We have a distribution week last week, high volume coming in with profit taking right at the descending trend line on the weekly. So what I would like to see is a bit of a calm down on this name and resumption of its uptrend with bullish candles on high volume is what I would like to see. And also would like to see the price holds above the 50 and 200-day moving average. VTNR still uptrend along with the oil pullback. This has pulled back. I'd like to see the price above the 21-day moving average for continued bullish thesis to stay. UTHR, United Therapeutics, is a biotech, broke above this kind of all-time high resistance level and now pulled back gently to that price and finding some support at the all-time high level. The previous pivot point. We'd want to see that price holds. It gave a kind of a doji candle on lower volume, so that shows not many sellers have come in this name yet. So it's possible that buyers could come in on Monday and resume the uptrend, having gently consolidated above the breakout point. So that is I'm quite bullish on this name. FNV, another gold name, just below the 50-day moving average, but it kind of gave a bullish engulfing candle on high volume. So buyers are coming in to this stock. And as you can see on the weekly, it's trying to push above the kind of short-term moving averages, and volume is kind of gently coming in as well, just below the average. But on the daily, you can see higher volumes are coming in this name on the last trading day of the week, last week. GO, this is grocery outlets, grocery store. It had a kicker symbol here, gently pulled back to the 21-day and broke above the previous pivot point, and again pulled back around that level, retest that support, and which also coincides with the 21-day and pushed above the 8 moving average on high volume. When the market has tanked on Friday and Thursday, this stock is showing good relative strength. So this is worthy to be in the watch list. The next one is Kellogg. Similarly, it pulled back here back in May, but then used the 50-day as support and is given a bullish outside candle, which is a bullish engulfing candle on high volume. So quite encouraged to see that, and is also bullish on weekly. If you can see, it's kind of gently consolidating above the key moving averages, unlike the broader indices, which has been breaking down. So this can benefit from the current situation and certainly showing relative strength. Just a few more stocks. Yamana Gold, AUY, similar stuff to the other gold stocks, broke above the key moving averages, pulled back the last few days and found support at the 50-day moving average, and on high volume, it's pushed above the key moving averages now. So if we draw a brief trend line here, connecting the tops of the last weekend a bit. It broke about that on Friday. So that's a bullish sign of buyers coming in. HRMY, how many buyers are it's holding? The weekly chart might give you a better signal. So there you go. So it had a distribution weeks, and then the last 4 weeks has been quite strong, reclaimed all of the key moving averages. However, the last week, that's just gone, there's a kind of indecisive candle. Maybe it's taking a bit of a pause, or maybe it's the interim top and rolls over. We don't know. However, the fact remains that it is above the key moving averages, does show some relative strength compared to the market. Certainly in the last 5 weeks, when the market has gone in the opposite direction, this has resumed its uptrend and above the key moving average on the weekly and also on the daily. I'd like to see this level 44.30 holds and then resumes above 47.20 this top in order to feel confident about the further upside to come. Another gold name, AGI on the Toronto Exchange, similar stuff, pullback towards the key moving averages, 200-day, and then strong push above all of those key moving averages on Friday on high volume and momentum, backing that as well. So bullish setup. ALT, Alt Immune Biotech stock, ever since it broke out of that 50-day moving average, it took a day pause and then reversed, continued this bullish pattern here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So within 4 days, it gained nearly 56%. So that is the effect of identifying the stocks that breaks above the key moving averages, particularly 50-day, and is backed by the volume accumulation as well. The price is just below the 200-day moving average, which may act as a support, resistance, and people could look into booking some profit taking. So I'll be watching this name, and if it kind of consolidates, allows the key moving averages and sets like another base or maybe a flag pattern, that might be a good point to consider entering. So there you go. They are the watch list names for this week. The overall market, of course, is looking quite bearish, but the gold commodity stocks are looking good. Oil is taking a pause, it seems, but there are some REITs and biotech stocks that are showing some good strength as well. I hope it was helpful. Happy learning and successful investing. And if you want to know more, check out my blog, which is called GrowWealth, and follow the website www.buymeacoffee.com/GrowWealth. Look at the description below for more information. If you benefited from this, share it to your friends and family as well. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. That will certainly help the channel. That will also help you by giving you notifications when I post some future videos. All right. Have a nice rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.